What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's your brother O.T.G. The O.T.G's for Overtime Grind. You already know what it is. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, man? I'm just here for the music talk. Don't mind me. If you don't want to have music talk, then you should probably leave. First thing I'm going to talk about, man, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, all that cool stuff, bro. You know, sometimes I gotta do more than just make beats, bro. I gotta do more than that. Like I do way more than that, and you know, the only way to really give the work with the beats is you gotta get the work from the other side. You see what I'm saying? You can't see it. You can't see it because it's not visual. I get it. I get it. I get it. One time for Irv Gotti, man. Making the whole world mad. Whole world feel like Irv Gotti is a creep right now, bro. They looking at this dude like he's super weirdo bull. They looking at Irv Gotti like, yo, what's up with your mans, bro? That's your mans right here? That's your mans right here? Whose mans is this? That's how people looking at Irv Gotti with this whole Ashanti thing. But I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, man. Like, we're gonna stop acting like in 2022 the guys ain't got feelings and they don't get their feelings hurt. You know what I mean? And that not every story is gonna be cool. Will O.T.G go on Drink Champs, get lit, and then have a conversation about one of my exes like Irv Gotti did? Probably not. But does that mean that's wrong what Irv Gotti did? No. He's a person, he had an experience, he could talk about it. I learned that in 2022, in 2021. You know, you gotta respect everybody. Even if we can't relate to their stories and they seem a little strange and different than our lifestyle, we supposed to not be like, y'all get it. If you can see my hands, you're not supposed to be like, The is my hand movement, in case you didn't know. I also feel like, what do you expect when you're thinking about the setup of Drink Champs? Like, it's Nori. And Nori calls his own self Slime. And so, you know, he's gotten very good at being an interviewer. He's winning awards and being impressed. You know, the tactic of the show is to get you drinking and more open to talk about historic moments. I want to know how y'all feel about Irv Gotti, though. Put it in the comments. You think he was tripping? You think he was... And this is the first question. Was he tripping about Ashanti? The whole Ashanti thing, like... You know, at the end of the day, he was the record label owner. He was the producer. He was the songwriter. He was working with the artist. So he does, it's not like he's a weirdo guy looking through the window talking about it. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what Ashanti says. I know she says they don't be together. I know all this is strange because this is a producer channel and we talking about a producer and his artist and how that can mess up the business going forward. Damn, O.T.G. You ain't even see it was coming like that, did you? Oh yeah, it was coming full circle. It was coming full circle because for all you guys who want to be out in the music business, rule 1758.45, I just made that up. It's still a real rule though. Do not mess with the talent. Just don't do it, bro. It don't make sense. So it's like when I sold cars, right? Once you get cars and start selling cars, you know, women start treating you different when they pull up to the car lot. Like, you know, they might come with their nice dress on. They might come, you know, try and be a little sensual. They might try to come and try to work the locks because they feel like you a car salesman. People feel like that you have the control over the price and that you could give them a good deal. And most guys is weak. So So one of the best salesmen I met in my life told me you can never be weak to the woman in sales. Because the moment that you give her a deal, the next time the car makes a noise, guess who she's calling? Next time you take anything that she's offering, guess who's 24/7 roadside assistance man now? You get what I'm saying? And if that's not the case, you could hurt your own self. Insert Irv Gotti. You know what I mean? The damage that's done just from them not being able to work through whatever it was. Look how it's stopping the money for the Murder Inc. reunion tour. Think about all the money that's getting left on the table because they ain't trying to be in the same room. You know what I mean? And it might add some spice for a moment. But then it's going to be the gift that keeps on giving, because now for the next couple years, guess what? When you try and get over it, when you try and move past it, some interviewer is going to think they're being the man and they're going to bring that up, and now it's all back alive again. So here's a tip. Don't ever do it. You know what I mean? One thing you'll learn in my 15 years, I had to learn the hard way. Some of us learned the hard way, so you don't got to do it. Hov did that, so you ain't got to do that. I think the rhyme was something like that. So don't go through it, bro. Just take the advice. Take the advice. Look how 20 years later, that's still messing up the bread. How it still got his name all twisted up. Why? For what? For some yams? It's not that serious, bro. You could do it a different way. You know what I mean? And it could have less of effect on the business and the growth of the business. You know what I mean? There was a very important section in there where they were talking about her wanting to get the stems. And Irv said he wasn't going to give the stems because if he gave her the stems, then what she would do is digitally remaster the album and then try to call it a cover and cut him out of the share, redirect the plays to the music she owns a bigger share of. And you know, I think at some point we got to talk about record labels don't gotta let you go, man. And if they create music with you just because you feel like they should give it back, that's just not the way it goes, man. It's not the way it goes. They will not survive or stay open, and the music business, how it is right now, will not work. And I know a lot of people say it should fail. Then what do you want to be a part of if you want it to fail? You know, you want your piece of the glory just like most other Americans built into a system of capitalism. So when we're talking about this music industry thing, man, and especially when it comes to these record labels, like I, as a producer, as somebody who writes songs and somebody who manages and takes care of producers, DJs, artists, and things of that nature, I also hold them accountable. You know, and if I put my blood, sweat, and tears into something just like you do and I help it come to fruition, if we come to an agreement, then the agreement stays the same. I don't really want to see you again and come back and renegotiate or talk about this agreement again, especially if we're not still working again. You know what I mean? And if we are still working again, then let's focus on what we got going and not so much on these other things. You know what I mean? Because the game is about adding on more streams, each placement, another stream, each opportunity, more streams. But that's a conversation for another day. You know, I definitely think that there's a couple other takeaways, like Ja Rule wanted to be on maybe it was Get At Me Dog or something like that. And even though him and Irv were friends, he didn't pay him no mind. No was no. Just wasn't for you, bro. And I think that was one of the takeaways people miss. You know, I think one of the takeaways that people miss too is that people just did what they felt. So those songs and the music at the time reflected how they felt and what they wanted to put out in so many ways. Now, the way the sound was and the video choice and all different marketing, other marketing conversations that we could have from record labels and down and all that stuff, that's a different thing. But for when you listen to people like Irv Talk, who's responsible for Jay-Z, DMX, and so many other greats, you know what I mean? So many other greats, when you listen to them tell their stories and listen to everything, it's really just about believing in themselves and believing in the music and believing in the project and doing whatever it takes to try to get it as far as it could go. And I like that. I definitely think no matter how people judge Irv for how he felt about Ashanti, I still feel like Irv is a legend. And I'm glad that he got the Drink Champs. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, if you don't like what happened with that, then maybe you should talk about the idea of what Drink Champs is. And I don't think that's going to happen because people like that the way it's set up. So I think it's just going to be the way it is. And I think you got to be okay sometimes with the information that you get. Sometimes the information you get is going to be a little bit shocking, you know what I mean? But let's talk about this Kelis Beyonce thing, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a little crazy too, because that was just an interpolation. And I think that Kelis could have went about that in a different way to make her some money if she wanted to, but at the same time, if her intent was that she just didn't want to be on the record because she didn't want to give any money to Pharrell and them guys, they're still going to get paid. Everybody who is getting paid is going to get paid, and everybody who is removed is removed. You know, so, you know, I think that was a big crazy, I don't know. You know, I see a lot of people down in Kelis. I see a lot of people down in Beyonce, but Beyonce didn't submit the final album. You know, she didn't write down the splits. If anything, Beyonce was the one who said, yo, add her name and make sure she gets some bread. So in that aspect, you know, I don't really know. I don't know why you would be so upset. You know, I know it could probably trigger some ill will and ill feelings against the initial people who took it from you, so I understand that. But, you know, we live in a crazy world right now where people want to go off in the comments. They want to say crazy things. I think some people really want to be victims. And I think as producers and people in the business of whatever business that you're in, you got to pay attention and watch out to. There's some people that's professional and okay with being victims. And I understand maybe that's a coping mechanism. So, you know, I'm not trying to come at anybody who's there. What I'm saying is if you are a person who doesn't operate in that way, then being hit with that type of energy could throw your whole 1-2 off, you know what I mean? And so, you know, I think we seen kind of the greatness of both of those women because neither of their 1-2s was off. Beyonce came right back, clinked it off and came right back, dropped some more music. And I seen the video of Kelis at in the Dead Sea, sunbathing, living life, you know what I mean? Try and get herself centered. So at the end of the day, both of them worked out. But again, it's another conversation for producers when you talk about interpolating music and making sure that, you know, everybody's splits is done correctly and different things. And it could also show you how you could do your job, but whoever it wasn't Pharrell, it wasn't somebody, it was some no-name person who has an administrative job, and they overlooked something that caused a major problem. And the bigger artist got blamed because the public doesn't know any better and doesn't know the system of how these things work. They think, the artist, yeah. So, I think that was just some crazy foolishness, and I'm glad that it passed without a bunch of people. Like, I seen a bunch of people getting mad, but it ain't gonna last. It's out of here. And lastly, one of the things I seen people talking about, and I seen that has been going on the last couple weeks, is the West Side Gun Funk Flex whole beef about needing radio and not needing radio. And if I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, a lot of you guys need to be trying to aim for radio because you don't have the work ethic of what it takes to be independent. You don't have the strong stomach for the decision making. You don't have the courage to risk it all and know that this is just the first time of many times. A lot of you guys want somebody to come save you. That is the purpose you in music. You think one beat, one song, one placement, one verse, one chorus, one thing is going to change your life forever, and it definitely can. But while you working on that one thing, there's 99 other things that you could be really popping off and getting done. And so I say all that to say, when they talking about Funk Flex, I hear all that. And they doing the 99 things. They got merchandise, they doing shows, they dropping tapes, they active on social media, they doing a bunch of features. But the one thing they need to do is get right with the DJs, man. And that's something that a lot of you guys don't know. In 2022, it's like you don't know about the DJs, bruh. It's kind of crazy. Like, y'all should be doing dub plates. You should have a list of DJ's emails, and every time you release a song, you should spend 2 days in the studio doing as many dub plates as possible. Yo, it's O.T.G. You now rocking with DJ Damage live 92.3 LA, the best. Let's get it. Yo, it's O.T.G. Hard work pays off. Rocking with DJ Infamous One right out of Louisville. You know what it is. Hey, what's going on? Rich Rising. It's your brother O.T.G. Hardly seen, but I'm always around. DJ Frills, Philly, what's up? Dub plates, bruh. Dub plates, bruh. This is how you get your song played. But y'all don't want to listen to O.T.G. You too busy worrying about why the views is low and why I don't post pictures on the gram and all this other stuff. You worry about the wrong things. You should worry about the right things. Dub plates, knowing the DJs, having the DJs. That's what I think when it comes to Griselda and anybody who's in that lane. You should never be beefing with a DJ, and you should always be working the DJs. Now, in their specific situation, the boy said something foul. You know what I mean? They'll never be in my top 5 or whatever he said. That was some extra, and people do throw some extra spice on Griselda. You know, a lot of people when asked do they listen to him, people be like, no, and I never heard them. Like, I don't know why it's like that. I've said it a couple times, and so I can understand how from the board perspective it could feel away when people keep doing that. I get that. You know what I mean? I definitely get that. And that was his main point, what he was saying. But I think that it got lost in a whole bunch of other stuff. And I just don't think arguing with DJs ever pays off really in the end, because there's some spiteful guys when they want to be, and they can really make a dent in the music and your music your music journey. You know what I mean? It's like a quiet union. So you mess with the wrong ones, you'll get them all mad, and then it's a wrap. But I think in 2022, a lot of people come to the internet and they air stuff out. And, you know, I think we still getting used to it. We still getting familiar with all of this, because in reality, this is still brand new. 50's only, I mean, hip-hop is only 50 years old. I'm 42. It's 8 years older than me. You know what I mean? So a lot of you guys, 20, 21, 22, 30, however old, you know what I mean? Like, we all new to this joint and experiencing a lot of different things in real time as it evolves. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as much as I feel like they shouldn't have made those moves or made those comments at the same time, you know, if they continue working the way they've been working and moving the way they've been moving, the DJs won't be able to hold them back. You know what I mean? That's really it. It's really how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Meek Mill's independent. See, he said he's going to try to drop like 10 albums. You know, it's a wonderful time to be alive. Wonderful time to be alive. It's a lot of mind-blowing things happening in the music business, regular business, our regular lives, all of that. So, on that note, man, I touched the topics. I just want to touch a couple topics. Holla at y'all for a second. You know what I mean? It's just Producer Talk, episode 2. Having different conversations on current events and different things like that. And on that note, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, all that cool stuff. Let me know how you feel. Let me know how you feel about the topics we discussed tonight. Write a paragraph in the comments. Let me know. That's O.T.G, your brother.